General Zexathera stared at the holographic display with 3 of his 4 eyes, the 4th twitching involuntarily, a tell that his aide had learned to associate with extreme frustration. The Vorthak High Command's most advanced tactical simulator hummed quietly in the center of the war room, its crystalline processors capable of modeling entire star systems down to the quantum level. Yet for the 3rd time this cycle, it had crashed. "Run the diagnostic again," Zexathera commanded, his mandibles clicking in irritation. "Sir," his aide, Sub-Commander Krillnet, hesitated. "The diagnostic shows no errors. The system is functioning perfectly." "Then why does it fail every time we input human battle data?" The question hung in the air like a toxic cloud. Around the war room, other Vorthak officers exchanged glances, their antennae drooping with shared unease. It had been 6 standard months since first contact with the humans, and the Galactic Confederation's military leaders were struggling to understand their newest and most concerning members. Admiral Velcora of the Zentaurian fleet floated into the room, her translucent form shimmering with phosphorescent patterns of worry. "Any progress, General?" "None," Zexathera admitted. "Our systems simply cannot process human tactical behavior. Watch." He activated the simulator and input the parameters from the Battle of Thermopylae, a historical human conflict they'd discovered in Earth's databases. 300 humans against an army of thousands. The logical outcome was predetermined: swift defeat for the smaller force. The hologram flickered to life, showing the narrow pass, the overwhelming enemy numbers, the hopeless tactical situation. The simulator ran for exactly 4.7 seconds before emitting a harsh error tone and shutting down. "Tactical impossibility detected," the system announced. "Simulation terminated." Admiral Velcora's patterns shifted to deep purple. "What does it mean by tactical impossibility?" "The humans held the pass for 3 days," Zexathera explained. "Our simulator cannot compute how this is possible. It keeps concluding that the smaller force should have retreated or surrendered within the first hour. When we force it to continue with human behavior parameters, the system interprets this as a fatal error in its programming." Sub-Commander Krillnet pulled up another file. "It's not just ancient battles, sir. We tried the siege of Stalingrad, the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, the Battle of Britain. Every time humans face impossible odds, our systems crash. They literally cannot process human decision-making under extreme circumstances." The room fell silent, except for the gentle hum of life support systems. Finally, Admiral Velcora spoke, her voice carrying the weight of her 3 centuries of military experience. "I've served in campaigns across 40 star systems. I've seen species fight with honor, with cunning, with desperation. But I've never encountered anything like this." She gestured toward the disabled simulator. "Our most advanced artificial minds capable of predicting the behavior of 1,000 different sapient species are stymied by humans." General Zexathera activated his personal data pad and scrolled through reports. "Intelligence suggests it's connected to something they call spite. When humans face certain destruction, instead of accepting logical defeat, they, what's the phrase, double down." "Spite?" Admiral Velcora's patterns flickered with confusion. "Our linguists translated this as malicious persistence in the face of futility. Surely they meant something else." "No," Krillnet interjected, pulling up human communication intercepts. "Listen to this transmission from their recent war games. Bravo Company is surrounded, outnumbered 10 to 1, low on ammunition, and the LT says we're going to make these bastards work for it. Hooah." "Work for it?" Zexathera's mandibles clicked rapidly. "They're treating certain death as employment?" Another officer, Commander Yilseth of the Crystalline Imperium, materialized his thoughts into audible sound waves. "I've been studying human military history. There's a pattern. The worse their situation becomes, the more unreasonably determined they become. They have a saying, 'It's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the dog.'" "Dogs?" Admiral Velcora's phosphorescence dimmed. They're comparing themselves to domestic quadrupeds? Apparently, it's inspirational to them, Yilseth replied. There's also, come and take them, nuts. We shall never surrender. And my personal favorite, I haven't even begun to fight. General Zexthera stared at the data streaming across his display. Human conflict showed a disturbing pattern of escalation rather than de-escalation when faced with superior force. Instead of seeking diplomatic solutions or tactical withdrawal, humans seemed to interpret overwhelming opposition as a personal challenge. Sir, Krillnet said quietly, there's something else. High Command has issued a directive regarding military exercises involving human forces. What directive? We're not to use our simulators to plan against them. Ever. The risk of system damage is too high and… He paused, his antenna quivering. Command believes that accurately simulating human behavior might damage our artificial intelligence systems permanently. Admiral Velcora's pattern shifted to a color that had no translation in any known language. They're worried that human irrationality might be contagious? Not irrationality, ma'am. The technical term Command used was weaponized stubbornness. They believe that any AI system that successfully learns to think like a human in combat situations might become unreasonable. General Zexthera closed the simulator display and looked around the room at his fellow officers. Representatives of 6 different species, each evolved on different worlds under different conditions, each with their own approach to warfare and survival. Yet they were all united in their complete bewilderment at human tactical psychology. Recommendations? He asked finally. Commander Yilseth's form crystallized into a more solid state. Simple, sir. We don't fight humans. Ever. If conflict is unavoidable, we surrender immediately and hope they're in a merciful mood. Admiral Velcora's patterns brightened to agreement yellow. Agreed. Any species that can make our most advanced computers have existential crises just by being themselves is not one we want as an enemy. General Zexthera nodded, all 4 eyes focusing on the disabled simulator. Mark it in the official records. Human battlefield behavior is a Class 7 computational hazard. All tactical planning systems are to avoid human combat parameters to prevent permanent psychological damage to artificial intelligence systems. He paused, then added quietly, and recommend that all Confederation species maintain excellent diplomatic relations with Earth. Forever. Outside the command center, the simulator hummed back to life, ready to model any conceivable battle scenario in the known galaxy. Except, of course, any scenario involving humans being told that victory was impossible. Because some battles, the machine had learned weren't fought to win. They were fought because someone said they couldn't be.